CarolJo's.com, which is an online jewelry and accessory business for women. We do more than just promote selling jewelry. I actually don't do a whole lot of promoting of my jewelry that I create here on social media. I actually spend a lot of time doing different things. Like twice a week, we will have tutorials. This week, we have the two are, one is called Modern Pearl Cluster Pendant. And the other one is a phone grip wristlet. So we'll have both of those this week. One will be actually tonight at 8 p.m. here on both TikTok and on YouTube. And then the other one will be Wednesday at, I believe, 2 p.m. But I'm not sure the time, so don't quote me on the time. But that is what we'll do the wristlet one. We also do other things here on social media that I will sell some of the supplies you need to create the jewelry or accessories. We will have a live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, and that is where we will be doing a bead sale. So we will be selling some of the items I'm working on right now. So one of the items that we're going to be doing is we are bringing back the coffin pendants. I got more in, so we will have those tomorrow night also. We will also have silicone sales. We're going to have a bring back sale tomorrow. We will have not bring back tomorrow. Tomorrow's basket sale. Then we will have a bring back on, I believe it's Thursday or Friday. I can't remember which one of the 2 days. And then we are going to have 2 silicone sales this week, and one of them is going to actually be on Saturday. So that is what we have for, we also have another bead sale on Friday night. And then right now we're having what I call chat time. That is where you get to ask all types of questions of making jewelry or of running your small business. And then we as a community will answer those for you. As always, when we do lives here on TikTok, when we get to 10 shares and 10,000 likes, then we will then do giveaways. We either do bead soup or we do dollars off of your invoices. Hi, Happy Prince. We're having, hey, I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Ajara? We are doing chat time where we talk about making jewelry. So that is what we're doing today. So if we can come in and if we share away on TikTok, that would be awesome. So, and I am going to, hi Ashley, I was going to put these and get these ready for sale. We've got, I think what I should have is 240 total, 60 of each color. We have yellow, white, black, and blue. We got them back in stock, and I'm going to get them ready for tomorrow night's sale. But what we're going to have tonight is this. We're going to show you how to make this pendant here, and then tonight I will have this on chain for you guys to see. Hello everybody on YouTube, but that's what we're going to do. It's called the Modern Pearl Charm Pendant, or Modern Pearl Cluster Pendant. That's what that is. Those are comments that I won't answer. We're going to talk about jewelry. All right. So, but we're also going to talk about our quote for the week. I've already posted the post for the week is you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Thank you, Melissa, for the heart me. I appreciate that. So to me, it's all about, if you start out being creative, just do something. Start out, just do it. and I've said this before, once you start, it keeps going. Hi, Rose. And you just need to keep going with it, and it will keep coming back to you. You know, you'll get different ideas going and different thoughts about how you can change something up. So like one of the things here is when I was doing this, I've always done this necklace. I've done this necklace for a long time, but when I've done it, I have done it as with glass beads in there, like just some white glass beads to fill it in. And today I changed it up and I just did it as a solid color, nothing else. And so, hold on just a moment. All right. I actually wear a lot more silver jewelry than I do gold. I prefer silver. So what I want to do next when we talk about creativity here is I want to change and not have it be a solid color, but I want to use 2 or 3 different colors in here and make this. And so that is going to be my next one that I want to do, is that I will do a mixed color one. All right. Sorry, I was having somebody ask inappropriate questions over on YouTube, so I put them in timeout. We only talk about jewelry making here. Hello. So, and if they come back again, I'll just turn comments off because I've done that before. I don't like doing it, but I will. You've done green. She's done, Nordic Luna has done that same thing with green, red, and gold. And that would be perfect. Like for me, I was thinking Christmas. And literally when I was picking the color to do this one, I picked it with, I picked it because it just reminded me of like the winter blue color. We're going into that time. Hello, River Horse. How are you? Do I do anything in pink? Yes, I do. I have a grandchild that we call Buttercup on here, and she is all things pink. So yes, I do make jewelry in pink. Ooh, see, and I don't have a lot of the 4mm glass pearls right now, because when we had them before, we've sold them, but everybody asked me to get in 6, 8, and 10. But I think that would be really cool using 4 and 6mm and maybe 1 8mm, because I don't want it to get too heavy for earrings, but make those into that and then make them earrings like you were talking about, Nordic Luna. I think that's an awesome idea. I just don't have a lot of 4mm. Oh, we could do, just when you said 4mm resin, it made me think the Gorgonias. We could make them with Gorgonias. See, that's where this is what the whole quote was about, is how else can you change things up? I love it. Yay. Yes, I do. We'll make this into a necklace tonight on the live. I do all kinds of necklaces, earrings, accessories, bracelets, you name it. If we can find a way to use something to create jewelry, we're going to do it. So like for me personally, I have used hex nuts to create bracelets. I've used backsplash tiles to create necklaces. We have used marbles to create necklaces. We have used washers to create earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. Oh no, that's what this time is about. It is about asking questions. So don't think you're asking too many questions. I just got to remember to say what you're talking about here on YouTube, so our people on TikTok know what we're talking about, and the same back to you, because I'm live on 2 different social medias at the same time. Okay, Miss Nordic Luna. So that's what we got. I got to remember to do that better. But what do you guys think about doing that with Gorgonias? And doing, like, we could do earrings with it. Right now I only have 8 on TikTok, but that's okay. And it was funny, you guys, everybody will know what I'm talking about when I say this. So when I ended Saturday's live, we were at 9,999 followers on TikTok. And I was like, whoo, we only need one more to get to our 10K. Like shortly after that, we got to 10K. And I was like, all right, we're at 10K. But as we all know, the 10K can go back to another number at any point in time. You really, if you're wanting to get to a certain number, you really need to go like 10, like if I want 10K, it has to be 10,000 and like 10. So you build in that buffer. And I said, I was talking to Buttercup and I said, I took a screenshot at 10,000, but I know it's not going to stay because I haven't had any additional followers and I'm not going to be on until Monday. So I knew I wouldn't stay at the 10,000. So that's why I didn't post a video about it and make a huge about it. I went to bed. I still had 10,000 followers. I woke up the next morning and I still had 10,000 followers. And I'm like, well, that's really odd. I thought it would go down overnight. Yep. Just shortly after that, it went down and we went back down to 9,997, which is that is the way the social media, especially over on both TikTok and YouTube, I have seen. Okay, I'll go check my messages. Oh, Gemini. And so that's why you just go back and forth and back and forth. And it's just what it is. So, and you just have to get over that hump. You're from Italy? I would love, 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 love to go to Italy. It's on my bucket list. So, okay, now let me go over here. I got to get into it. I don't have my backup account up at all. I'm not on anything on there. And are you talking? There you go. And I got a new look right as that happened. And I don't know. Oh, I love those. Okay, can I show everybody? Can I bring up my, if I bring up my tablet, are you good with that, Nordic Luna? Okay, so here is the picture. I'm going to give you guys my stand and everything. These are the earrings that Nordic Luna was talking about when we did it. She used gold earring wires and gold chain. We've got the green, the red, and the white. And that is just a great Christmas looking, using that same concept that we were showing for the what we're going to teach tonight. So that's what we've got. I do not sell internationally is the problem. I don't sell outside of the US. I do sell I sell my beads, I sell the jewelry, I sell it all, but I keep it in the US because going through customs to get them out is not easy for me. So yeah, that's cool. Thank you for sending that. Now I can show that. Awesome. Okay. Now I can go look. And look at when we were on the live. Yes, she could, and then she could send it to you too. I can't get it bigger. But look at, we're at 10,000, everybody. Whoop, whoop. Now we just got to get it a little bit over so it'll stay at 10,000 and above. Yay! Yes. I'm excited. That happened on the live. So thank you everybody that on TikTok that has been liking while we've been live to get us there. I appreciate it. Woohoo! We'd have a celebration tonight. I don't know what we would do for a celebration, but hey. There, now I'm bringing up my backup account so I can see comments better. I was going to say, I have one of my kids right now lives in New York, the state of New York. They don't live in New York City. But yeah. And the whole reason why I do not do international is because of all the paperwork you have to fill out to get things out of the United States. I don't know how other companies do it and just make it easy. I just have not figured it out. So if anybody knows, let me know. And I'm going to say today, my hair is having a flat hair day. It's not curling very well. I'm just looking. Okay, there we go. We're getting some curl back into it. I might just need to play with it. It's still a little damp, but I'm going to see if we can get curl back. Hi, Laura. See what happens. My hair all depends on the weather. Sorry, we're not talking about hair. We're talking about jewelry and about running small businesses and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys have questions, please put it in the comment. It's not all about me. Sorry. And this afternoon, I am going to pull the rest of the items that we have up for sale for tomorrow night's bead sale. So I will know tomorrow night tonight, what we're going to have up for sale for tomorrow night. I know we're going to have, here's the yellow. Here is the white. Show you both. There we go. I gotta show YouTube the yellow. And then we've got the black. And we have blue. So we'll for sure have all four of those tomorrow night. Ah, yeah, I know, Sour Rose, you've been wanting those. And I got them in. I'm working on getting them all ready on this live, and then I'll finish them up. Ah, I love that, Nordic Luna. I love when kids get involved. Buttercup, from a very young age, would do her own bead collection. She would just go through my beads and create her own bead collection. She has her own little pearl collection. I have pearls that are not drilled or anything, and she goes through those and decides which ones she wants. And then she will do her own creativity. She is a little drawer. She is getting more and more into drawing lately. And some of her things is she likes to draw eyes. This one's getting a little long. He's going to fall off the table here soon. There we go. So I did print off all my little stickers that I need. Hi, Beads. How are you doing? How's the grandbaby? Awesome. I don't know that I would be like, okay, let's like glitter. I'd be like, okay, are you guys gonna make a mess? And it cause me to have like angst. You should see when Buttercup paints, I put down, we have a big roll of butcher paper for when Ryan smokes. And so I will put down paper for her. And when she does it, when she starts painting without that down, she has painted my table. And then you just have to go, okay, it'll go away. I'm just like, my husband is like, it is the way it is. Oh, I would love, that's what I want for my size of my bead shed. She shed is a 2-stall garage size. And that's what it is that we're moving over. It is an oversized 2-stall garage. Not till next spring though. And I was hoping this weekend we could get one of those racks that I got up in one of the rooms downstairs, but I just did not have time because I wanted to relax a little bit yesterday. Sorry. when you run a business, some days you don't get days off, like most weeks. And I took a little bit. I did work in there. It went really easy. I will tell you guys, the driver of the semi was the kindest man ever. So, you know, we told him that he's probably not going to be able to get the semi in our driveway that we can use right now because the crop was still in the other driveway to our property. And he's like, okay. And so he parked out on our gravel road and he used a pallet jack and pulled it all the way from the end of our driveway to the cement in front of my garage door. I'm like, how kind. He did not have to do that. And the thing is that he had that all done before I even realized he was here. All of a sudden I looked outside and I'm like, is that a pallet jack? And I'm like, it is. And I went, and then he was knocking on the door as I was going to go out. And it just, so I didn't even get to see him take it off of the semi. But we did talk about next time, if we may have it delivered to where my husband works at full time. And have them take it off with a forklift, because that might save me cost of the expenses of delivery. So we're going to see if we can do that. If not, we'll just do what we did again. He was okay with it, but he was so nice. It was. I was just like, I literally was like, okay. And so I gave him a tip too, because you guys gave me the idea. So yes, I did tip him, but he did not have to bring it down to all the way down our driveway. I mean, it's not like our driveways. My grandma and grandpa had a mile-long driveway, or a half a mile long driveway. So ours is not that long, but he did it, and I was so happy. And I brought everything off of the pallet. It's all inside in our garage, just waiting for me to put it up downstairs. And when I put it up downstairs, I will more than likely make a video of it going up. So, but I need Ryan to take out, that room still has, it's a bed frame and a bed. It's not put together, but I need him to take it out of that room and get rid of it. And then we will put the stands up in that room. But once we get the she shed over here, we will be able to do a lot more. I can have my house be my house is the big thing. I'm labeling now for the blue ones. So we're going to put the blue ones in their little bags. There we go. We'll get some of them labeled and then I will do them up. How do I handle taxes? Are we talking sales tax, or are you talking income tax, or are you talking both? Thank you, Renee, for the heart me. I appreciate that. Both. Okay, I'm going to start with sales tax. My sales have not reached high enough limits in other states besides the state that I am domiciled in, which I am domiciled in the state of South Dakota. So I do have to pay sales tax for any orders that are done through South Dakota. My CarolJo's is not licensed in any other states at this point in time because I haven't reached thresholds yet. I have Shopify tells me the amount that I've had in sales in the period for where I need to turn in my sales tax. And then I can just take that amount and enter it into the online system for South Dakota and do it that way. I could set it up to be automatic, but I have 2 sales licenses in the state of South Dakota, and I don't want them to get mixed up and go to the wrong one, because there are penalties that you would have if you don't send them in time. So that I just automatically pay it myself online, but I get the report from Shopify, because that's where my website is through. For my other business, I don't do it through Shopify. And for that one, I keep track of that manually and turn that in the appropriate time frames. Each business, different times of when I have to pay in sales tax. That's just the lovely state of South Dakota for you. Other states are not like that. Some of the other states have set periods no matter what it is. South Dakota just has different ones. So that's how I handle sales tax. Once we get large enough that I need to collect in all states, I will use Shopify to help me do that. They do have a system that once you get your stuff that you need for doing sales tax in each location, they will take care of that. And you can put in what you need for information, and it will turn it into the appropriate state for you. There is a fee for that, of course, but I'm not there yet. As for income tax, South Dakota is one of the few states in the United States that does not have a state income tax. So I don't have to worry about state income tax. Yes, it does reset each year. You are correct. From what I've read, each year it's like you have to have either so many sales or so many dollars worth in those states. And I haven't reached them yet. And as I always say about the sales tax thing, you can thank South Dakota. You know, you used to be able to go on like your Amazon Prime and not have to pay sales tax. But South Dakota was losing out on a lot of sales tax. And so they did sue Wayfair. And that put into the law that you do have to pay each state when you hit certain levels. Sorry. But South Dakota was losing a lot of income tax, or not income tax, sales tax, because we do not have an income tax. Most of our taxes come from either property tax of our land or sales tax. We do not pay property tax on our vehicles. We only pay sales tax in the year we bought it. So, sorry, we're getting into a lot of taxes. For my income tax, I have only federal income tax. And right now, growing the business, I am working with my accountant on how we're going to change all of that. Nope, they didn't. And it was South Dakota. But you have to understand, what happened here was probably a little bit different than in other places. So for us, we are a rural state. And so, you know, like, I know somebody that I used to work with that lived 2 hours from here. Their choices to go get diapers for their kids or groceries, paper towel, toilet paper, your laundry detergent, all of that was like over an hour away to go get those, unless you wanted to pay extremely high prices. And what I mean by extremely high prices is like about 4 times the cost. So if you wanted local, it would be 4 times the cost. But your income isn't 4 times the cost. So that's where they had to make decisions, and they decided to always do Amazon Prime to get things in. And so because of that, a lot of income tax was in the rural areas was being missed because it was being delivered. So that was the big reason behind it and why they did what they did. So Patty, you're in the same thing as me, where you only pay the federal. There's only, I think, 8 states in the United States that does that. South Dakota, and I know Texas, and I'm not going to say where Patty lives because it's not my deal to say where someone else lives. Like Texas is the biggest one that I know of. Washington is what someone put in here. We do not pay it. And so I only have to do federal income tax, and you can pay that in different ways. You can prepay, but with my accountant, we were not there with what I had for sales as of last year. But when we get through this tax season, we will look at if I will pay in. Oh, New Hampshire doesn't have it either. Wow. It doesn't have sales tax. New Hampshire doesn't have sales tax. So they must have an income tax or something there, Rose. But her and I will discuss, my accountant is a female, we will discuss what I will do for doing that. She helps me out with every year telling me what are the new deductions and what deductions were taken away for a business, so that I know how to keep track of different things that I have purchased throughout the year or deductions on, since we are in my home, and how we can do the deductions there. She helps me out with that. I do not know the laws for all of that. It is not my strong suit to know all that. That is what I pay her for. Hello. And so I have always said you will want to have certain people in your pocket helping you with your company. You know, I have used, when I first started doing this, I did not use an accountant because I was brought up, you can do it yourself. You don't need to pay an accountant. I met my husband 18 years ago, and he was like, I have an accountant. You're going to start going to him. And once I went to an accountant, I realized I was missing things that I could deduct. And so, because of that, I have said, that's why I will say, an accountant is your friend when you're in a business, because they can help you. That's just my personal opinion because of what I've been through. I got more deductions when I went to an accountant because that's not my forte. Hi, Gladys. Well, I am glad you're back. I hope you're doing good. So that's what I will say about an accountant. You know, when you're starting the business, the Department of Revenue, the Secretary of State, the, like for me, like if you're in a town, the Chamber of Commerce in any town that you might be doing a show in, your accountant and an attorney to help out with, if you're going to be a corporation or an LLC, is the way to go. You're welcome. Because they can help you get all the paperwork done and everything that you need to do. I know it sounds overwhelming when you think about that, but then you know your business is being set up correctly, is the way I looked at it. And I had, when we first started, when Ryan and I first met, he had one accountant, and I was going to say, I was not quite, I did taxes on my own for 2 years for my business, and then after that, I've used an accountant. And when you think about an accountant, you think, oh geez, that's going to be expensive. I don't know what accountants charge in your area, but we've had some personal things that we've had to take care of with our accountants in the past, and we've had business stuff. And I don't think we've ever in 1 year spent $1,500 for our accountant for both personal and business. They do keep it separate. And so when you think about it, the deductions that my accountant found was more than that $1,500. And that was the most we ever spent in 1 year. Usually it's a lot less than that. So to me, it is worth the money. And if it's part of your business, it is a tax write-off for me anyways, the way they've written it off. And you have to understand, we've had 2 accountants now in this 18 years, because our first one, he decided he should retire. He turned 65. I know he could retire, but it was a sad day. When you have your accountant, because he has multiple accounts. We were not his only account. You have to understand. And he was also, for the state, he would go and audit other accounting firms to make sure that they were handling everything correctly. So like the state of South Dakota would make sure that they were doing what they needed, and he would do the audits that the state needed and that type of thing. Very knowledgeable guy, very worth it. And while he was so you have to understand, he knew lots of businesses in the state of South Dakota. He knew lots of accounting firms in the state of South Dakota. He was very, very well known. And when he was 2 weeks away from retirement, he contacted me about something, because he thought if he didn't come and talk to us about something that was going on at that point in time and he retired, it would have just ate at his soul, because he wanted us to get a credit. He wanted us to know about something so we could have a credit on our taxes. How many will just be like, I really needed to reach out to you because I need to tell you this? That's the kind of accountant that we had originally. Loved having him as our accountant. And our new accountant that we have, she follows what we need to, rules and all that kind of stuff. So if we would ever to get audited, I know everything would be good with her. So that's the type of person that you want to find for an accountant. I always say that. So that's my 2 cents on starting a business and getting an accountant. So, yep, it is harder. And the thing is that Nordic Luna, she put down that personality is getting harder and harder to find these days. And when we went to find a new accountant, I actually set up appointments for us to go interview accountants. And I know people, our friends were like, you're really going to interview your accountant? You just go to somebody. And I'm like, no, I want to have somebody that I can trust and that is in there and helping me out and that type of thing. I was very adamant that I was going to interview the person. And it was funny because Ryan was in the same place as me. So we both were going to interview the accountant, and we did. We went and talked to a few accountants, and then we decided on the one that we're with now. So it just happened to be when I worked at a financial institution, I managed a department. And then we went, this was 20 plus years ago. And she went on to her life over here, and I went on my life over here. And then we went to talk. We both have different last names now. And we both sat there and looked at each other like, we should know each other. I know her. But my husband's always like, you think you know people, but you really, I don't remember people. But this time I know her. Hi, Rainbow. And when we were getting done towards the end of the interview, she's like, I just have to ask, you look so familiar, but I cannot place it. And I'm like, I'm thinking the same thing. And so I said, okay, basic question. This is probably what it is. Where did you go to school at? And she said the name of the town she went to school at, which so happened to be the hometown of where my father-in-law is from. And I knew from back when she was my employee that was her town. And I looked at her and I go, your last name used to be this, and mine used to be this. And I go, we worked at this place. And she's like, that's it. And my husband was just like, hold it, let's go back to the hometown. And she goes, yeah. She's like, that's where my father or my dad is from. And so then, in a weird sense, it would be her great grandfather and my husband's grandmother were siblings. Only in South Dakota does that kind of stuff happen, I think. So they are actually very distant cousins, but they've never known that each other existed. I know. I was just like, and how I put it together is that by her maiden name to her, I'm like, are you related to this person? And she's like, she said how she was related to them. And my husband goes, then that means we're related because I'm related to that person. So it's kind of a weird thing, but he had never met her before and I had, and they're related distantly. But like Ryan's grandmother died. Yeah, and this is that she grew up in that small town. My husband grew up in a different small town. I grew up in Sioux Falls and I met her in Sioux Falls. That's okay. We're having a chat time about businesses over here. So, and jewelry making. So, yep. But that's, that's South Dakota for you. Okay, I just got to go see something really quick too. I just got to make sure. I'm going back over here. We're still at 10,000. Oh, I didn't even see what Geraldine had a problem with. I was going to say, if anybody likes what we're doing here, we do this twice a week where we just talk about creating jewelry, running a small business, and that type of thing. Twice a week we do tutorials, and more than twice a week. It's this week, I think I have 6 different sale days. We sell things so that you guys can make jewelry. I only sell on TikTok. So those of you on YouTube, if you wanted to join over on TikTok, you could be able to watch our sales. I only sell in the US. But if you guys like what you're seeing, go ahead and follow on TikTok and subscribe on YouTube. We're right at that 10,000 marks. Yep, we do silicones. We do all the silicone beads for pens, wristlets, and all of that kind of stuff. We do regular glass beads. We do natural. We do acrylic. And I'm excited about our silicone that we're doing this week. Thank you, Rose, for the gifts. The silicone that we're doing this week, I haven't gotten it created yet, but it's a wristlet for your phone. So, and you know how like we've got the wristlets that you can put on for your wallets or your keys? This one's going to be for your phone. And we're going to use the, I forget what it's called all of a sudden, the little hook that you will put on your phone case to attach the wristlet. It won't use the little plastic piece. This one is going to use that. And I have in stock a lot of those little adhesives. Yep, it's not going to be the plastic like tether. It's going to be, I took all of my examples of different things out because we're getting ready to put those on the website so people can buy them. But it's like the little heart or the rectangle with that loop on it that you will use a swivel to connect it with. But the wristlet is going to be more than just like the wristlets that you see for the keys. We're going to jazz it up a little bit. Yep, it's the little metal hoop. Yep, we're going to do that. And I have, because I've sat here and said, I can't put it on because I use both my phones for the lives when we're doing the tutorials. So last night I went and got just an inexpensive phone case. I thought I'm not going to spend a ton of money because I'm not going to put it on a phone because I'm using my phones, but I will put one of those little hooky things. I don't remember what they're called. Adhesive hooks. That's what there are. Adhesive hooks, I believe is what they're called. I will, yep, technical term, loopy thingamabob. But I will attach one to that phone case when I get it in so you guys can see how they work. So, and I'm supposed to get that tomorrow, and then we're going to do the tutorial on Wednesday. Because, you know, Amazon here is not same day. It is either next day or next week to get things. And I just wanted a phone case. And I also didn't want to spend an arm and a leg for it either. But when you're looking on those, I could have gotten all the iPhone 11 phone cases I wanted. I'm like, I didn't even know they made iPhone 11 still. My dad's iPhone 11 finally died after 7 years. Okay, so it's just not ours. So, yeah. Is guy is gonna say, was it Gerald having problems earlier? Is she in? Okay, any place rural. Yep. And you're just like, okay, I'll just wait because what else are you gonna do? As we've been talking away here, I've almost got 3 of these done. I just wanted to make sure she could get in and do. I missed what her comment was of the issue that she was having. Yep. She can't hear. Okay. Yeah, and that's what, and it's, and the thing that really stinks is that you want to shop local because you want to support your community, but at what cost? That's the hard part. It kind of goes back to buying some of the supplies outside of the U.S. that I work with, or do we get them from someplace in the U.S. for sourcing? It's all about our money. So what kind of projects is everybody working on right now? As I'm just sitting here, we call this in our household, we call this stickering. When you sticker the little bags. Yep, I know. And that with the way the economy is, I am the same way, Nordic Luna. I want to, yep, I am with you on that one. So Nordic Luna says, sorry, with the prices nowadays versus quality, I'm going cheap. And then Eagle Designs by Sour Rose, who's Vicky, she says sourcing is still cheaper out of US for most things. That on I have looked at, I think is what it was. I think we're missing a space there. Thank you, Victoria, for the autumn love. So yeah, it is really, truly, it's about trying to find where you can. And it stinks that, you know, we do have to go out. But then I'm also finding you cannot make some of the stuff here in the US because we have certain laws in place. And it just is what it is. I think I'm going to get, you know, it was funny. When I sat here and grabbed these to work on, Thank you, Vic. You know what? I can not type very well. I stink at it. And someone wrote, shipping is what frustrates me. It's cheaper to get things shipped from other countries than from the next city over. I don't have 10K on my side for the likes. Are you talking about that, Nordic Luna? I only have 9. And TikTok will do that every once in a while, where it will show you a different amount, because at so many, there for a while, it was allowing it, I don't think it was on in place, where you could like away. Okay. You could like away, and I don't think it was keeping it limited to a person, but I think that's back on again with the latest update. But we're getting close, everybody. We will do a giveaway when we get to 10K on the likes on TikTok. We will do that for sure. Thanks, Gladys. Does it show a different number now? Because we're 9.3 on my side. $9.5. Yep, it's 9.5 here. Now you're back in sync with me. Woohoo! I'm at 9.5. I'm like waiting for it to go to 9.6. And I don't have my backup account, so I can't help you. I don't have my my tablet on right now. We're at 10K. We're at 10.1. Let me get rid of these 2 stickers off my fingers so I can put a color in there. Okay, everybody. There you go. Yep, mine says 10.5 now. Woohoo! Somebody already got it. Miss Gladys, you are the winner. Today is the 6th. All right, thank you. There, you are the winner, Gladys. You will get $5 off. She guessed the color black. Woohoo! And I only picked it because it's the next color I have to do on getting these ready. So congratulations. I was like, what color? I looked down and I saw the coffins. I'm like, we're doing black. So we will get that for ya. I just have a little bit left of the whites. Let those go in there. These come up here. And when we're done with the white, then we'll start black. But I will, after we get off the live here, my plans for, thank you, Victoria, for the follow. I am going to go to the mailbox and mail off anything that I have already sent out. You guys already got your email with the tracking on it. I did get some that were after I started doing shipping, and I just did a cutoff so I wouldn't be constantly doing that, because I do need to do other things. And we'll ship anything that we received from like about 9 o'clock today and after will go out tomorrow. And then I'm going to go ship those. Once we get done shipping that, then we will come back and I will pick all the rest of our items for tomorrow night's live. And we will be back tonight at 8 p.m. for, well, you just got to learn. I was going to say, someone over on YouTube is trying to learn English. And it's not easy to learn English. Nope, I do not do post office pickup because my husband works for a post office, but it's not the one for us. So we will either use his post office, or if I go take it to the post office, I take it to a post office near me. Our post office, you guys will all understand this. There are some post offices that are just not the best. They won't work with you or be very considerate. The location of the post office that we would mail out of, I kid you not, and this is where it stemmed from a lot of different things, but the last straw for really using them for anything was when my mom passed away, my dad started wintering, and it is my chance. That's the only time I ever leave the house right now, unless it's something for Buttercup. But my dad had his mail switched over to my house. Which fine, he can use my address for his mailing. It wasn't a big deal. But one day I just had enough of getting my mom's mail after her passing. And every time you go to the mailbox and there would be something in there with her name on it, it's just part of the grief process. And I didn't want to deal with that anymore, is my grief process. And so I asked that post office to stop sending me her mail. Or if I needed to return to sender, what do I need to do? And they said, well, we'll just stop giving you her mail. What they ended up doing is that they ended up stopping everybody with that last name's mail. My kids had that last name, my dad had that last name, and my mom had that last name. So nobody was getting their mail. And when I called the post office about it, the postmaster gave me the runaround. And then I called back again because I have informed delivery, and I'm like, I know I am missing this, 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 and this. And then she came back and was really snotty with me about the whole thing. And she's like, you should know better. Your husband works for the post office. And I'm like, honey, I never brought up anything about my husband. And I'm like, yep, nope, we're not using that post office if we don't have to. She just wasn't very kind. It's all about customer service. I can go to my husband's post office and I can be like, if you guys have a problem and haven't gotten a package from me and you're like, or you get stuck in going back and forth between towns or whatever, I take a quick picture of the tracking number, send it to Ryan. Ryan texts it to his postmaster. His postmaster looks it up and then texts back and gives us all the information I need on it, or tells me what he will do to fix it. Because sometimes it's that when it gets to one of the distribution centers, they've done something with it and it just doesn't go the right way, and they just need to correct it when it gets to a certain destination. I have the best service. And the other post office that I go to, I don't have them look into packages for me, but if I have a question about sending out a package of any type, they are there willing to help me. She helps me decide what are the cheapest ways for me to be able to send out the size of packages that I'm doing. I get awesome customer service. So it's all about, each post office gets, they are to hit quotas and stuff. I will send my packages to someone who is helpful for me so that they can get their quotas. That's my thoughts. Sorry. It's all about customer service. But she has not been a very, very good postmaster in the town that we should use. Or else I could have them pick it up. So that's why I won't use them. Okay, I gotta see. I don't know. I'm like, what? Jeez, I just go to the one around the corner. So we have in because of ruralness, we are annexed in with a different post office. Our town is. So our post office is open for like 2 hours every day. And I don't go to that one. Yep. I just find mine, I will drive an extra, for me to go to the post office we're supposed to go to drop them off outside of those 2 hours is the same distance as it is for me to go to my husband's post office. So same amount of time. I'm going to go to the one that will help me. I don't even have to go there. I send packages with Ryan. And what I'm finding is when he works his long days, because he works 4 10-hour days right now, I don't want to ask him to go to the post office. So more times than not on those 4 days, I go to the post office. But then on the other 2 days, he's at the post office and takes mine. When he switches back over to his 8-hour days, he'll take my packages then because I'm not driving in the winter. Oh, your son. It's okay. I missed the comment completely, Geraldine. Is it your son's birthday? Because I don't have my backup account. So if it went by too fast, I didn't see the comment. No? Okay. I don't know what the comment was. So I feel like I'm in left field. Sorry. Okay. Thank you, Nordic Luna. Okay. Hi, Linda. Let's say the hardest thing you ever have to do is what Geraldine went through. So that is one of the hardest things. All right, everybody. It's 2 o'clock my time. I am going to hop off here. I will be back at 8 p.m. both on YouTube and on TikTok. We are going to create what we are calling the modern pearl cluster pendant. And we're going to put that on a necklace tonight. We're going to do it in different colors than the blue. So we will see you all back 8 p.m. everybody. Have a great rest of your afternoon and we'll see you in a little bit. Okay? Bye. Yes.